Hello traders, in this lecture I will show you how to use the generator, which is for me the fantastic tool in EA Studio because it generates strategies over the historical data that we selected to use. So let me remove this strategy that I used in the previous lecture and I will click on the generator. Now the first thing we have is the historical data. Here we select the data source or the data source from your broker which you have imported in EA Studio. Then you need to select the symbol that you are planning to trade with and then you select the time frame. For example, I will generate strategies on M15 for Euro Pound. Now in strategy properties we have the entry lot, and after that if you decide to trade with different entry lot you can change it from the inputs of the expert advisors. I will show you that later on when I place the expert advisors over the MetaTrader platform. And for stop loss we have the option to use always use, may use, do not use. If we select always use, in every strategy we will have a stop loss. If we select may use, this means that the generator will decide whether to place a stop loss or not, and do not use means that there will be no stop loss in the strategy. So I prefer to use always use. As a type you have three options: fixed, trading and fixed or trading. Now fixed means that you will have a fixed value for the stop loss, trading means trailing stop loss, and fixed or trailing means that the generator will choose one of the two which will fit better for this strategy. Okay, I will leave it to fixed or trailing. So in some of the strategies there will be a fixed stop loss, in some there will be trailing. And below is the range. Now here I use different ranges. Sometimes I leave it from 10 to 100, which means that the stop loss and the take profit will be between 10 pips and 100 pips. Sometimes I do it from 50 to 100 for the stop loss and from 10 to 50 for the take profit. So I have stop loss bigger than the take profit, or you can have stop loss from 10 to 50 and take profit from 50 to 100. But normally I don't use stop loss smaller than the take profit, and I will tell you why. Because the old saying in trading where the stop loss should be 3 times smaller than the take profit, for me doesn't work well with the expert advisors, okay? And this is very simple. When the trade is opened, if the stop loss is smaller than the take profit, obviously the chance for the price to hit the stop loss first is bigger. I can say even 3 times bigger. And a lot of people are using it, but I do not. And you will see that when you generate expert advisors, especially with a huge range, so you give it a range, okay, from 10 to 100, you will see in many strategies that when the take profit is smaller than the stop loss, it works even better. One more time, because when the take profit is smaller than the stop loss and the trade is opened, the chance to hit first the take profit is bigger. Alright, now I will leave it from 10 to 100 for both, and as well for take profit I will select always use. As generator settings we have working minutes. This means how long time we want the generator to be working. For example, I will leave it to 600 minutes, which is 10 hours, and because it is Sunday afternoon, it means tomorrow morning on Monday I will have the generator ready, and this way it will work for me overnight when I sleep. This is the best thing with EA Studio that I do recently, and many of the traders I see in our forum are doing it as well. We run the generator for a long time overnight or during the day if you are working, and in the evening you will have the ready strategies, or you run it in the afternoon or in the evening, and in the morning you have the strategies. Alright, so I will leave it to 600 minutes, and as search past you have different options. net balance, return to drawdown ratio, system quality number, win-loss ratio, and others. Here I leave it to net balance. This means that when the strategies are generated, I will see the strategies with most net profit on the top in the collection. Okay, now below we have the out of sample, and so we have in sample and 10% out of sample to 50% out of sample. This is something a little bit more advanced, and I like to stay here with more basic. So I will choose in sample. This means that the generator will use the whole historical data available. Okay, below we have use the common acceptance criteria, and the strategies use preset indicators. If you remember, in tools we have preset indicators where you can choose which indicators to be part of every strategy. I will not use it now, but I will use the common acceptance criteria. I will click on it, and here it is. Now, as a default, it comes with minimum net profit of 10, which is a very small profit, or at least it means that we want to have profitable strategies into our backtest, okay, with a very small profit as a minimum. Now, minimum count of trades depends really on the historical data. If you have small historical data, like what I've demonstrated with the new platform installed, then it will be hard for you to require a huge number of count of trades. But for me, the minimum to go is 300. Okay, this is the bare minimum when I'm trading with the Forex strategies and the Forex expert advisors. Even now, I will go up to 500. Okay, 500 count of trades, and this is very important because the more count of trades we have in the backtest, the more robust strategies we will generate. Now, having just couple of trades, for example 5, 10, 20, is a very small number to depend on this strategy. Imagine for the complete period from 2014 till today to have only 10 or 15 executed trades with this strategy. First of all, this is not active strategy, and second of all, we cannot depend on the rules of this strategy because it opens trades just few times. Okay, so I prefer to use minimum 300, or if you have a huge number of bars in your historical data, you better go with a bigger number. From here you can add different acceptance criteria. You can see there are different options: maximum average position length, we have maximum bars in trade in percentage, maximum stagnation days, and many others. One of the criteria that I always use is the minimum profit factor, and I will increase it to 1.2. So the profit factor is the ratio of the net profits versus the net loss. So it shows how much the profit exceeds the loss. And we can add more criteria, but keep in mind that if you add too many, you will make it too strict, and probably the generator will not show you any strategies. So it is better to generate more strategies, and after them I will show you how to filter them into collection, than having no any strategies into the collection. Okay, so I will leave it this way, just minimum count of trades 500. We are looking for a very small profit, net profit of 10, which simply means we want the profitable strategies. So we're looking for the strategies that have at least 500 count of trades and profit factor of 1.2. Okay, now going back to the generator and the generator settings, I am pretty much ready to go for it. I will click on start, and you will see that the speed of the generator is really unique. These are actually calculated and generated strategies, but as you can see, so far I don't have strategies into the collection because none of those passed the acceptance criteria. So I will wait now for 10 hours, and tomorrow I will show you the results. But what I can do at the same time is I can run another generator for the other three currency pairs, for the euro, dollar and for the pound dollar. And with EA Studio, we can actually run the generator simultaneously for a couple of assets, but it is important to do it on different tabs of your browser so it will work faster. Okay, so now let me bring one from my next screen over here, and I will do the very same thing now for the euro dollar on M15. I have the range here, it is saved, generator settings. I said it will go for 10 hours. As acceptance criteria, I will increase minimum profit factor to 1.2, and we said we want to see 500 count of trades. And minimum backtest quality is nice to leave it. This is especially if you have some problems with your historical data, but with this MetaTrader demo data it works fine, so I don't need to have it. And I will run the generator. Let me check one more time all the settings. Okay, I will press on start, and as well I will run one for the pound dollar, as I've said, with different tab, and you can organize your tabs in a way so you can monitor the three of them. And let me put one for the pound dollar from my other screen. It is right over here. Okay, so I will choose the MetaTrader demo, pound dollar. On M15 as strategy properties, I have it all set, and here I will increase just the working minutes. And let me have a look at the acceptance criteria. All right, 500, here it is. I click on the generator and I will press on start. All right, so now the three of them are actually working. You can see that the speed is good for the three of them. Now, if you make it more than 3 or 4, it might get a little bit slower. So the best thing I found is 3 works great for me, and especially on this computer I have normally many other things open, 2-3 MetaTrader platforms and many browsers and windows, and if I open more generators it makes it a little bit slower. So it is up to you, but you can start just with one to get used with it, and then you can run generator for different assets just as I showed to you. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will continue tomorrow morning when I will select the strategies and I will place them on MetaTrader platform. See you then. Cheers.